Hey, wait, is it recording?
Always recording.
Huh?
It's always recording.
Wait, do you think I need to introduce myself? I was doing that under the presumption that it will be like pop out on the side.
Any question you want to ask first?
What words can I not say?
Look at
No, I
him
feel
when
like
he
you
does
should
this.
say, hi, I'm the president, blah blah blah.
Bro, it's melted, bro. Why do you bring it all the way back?
Wait, I can. You want me to just begin now?
Basically, no one in Astro had done it before.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to do it.
It's fine lah. I don't think you're okay lah.
Where's that guy outside? Can you get him out?
Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Hello.
I'm Derek, the president of HCA Astro. In HCA Astro, we strive to learn more about the cosmos and our universe while simultaneously forging close-knit bonds with one another, resulting in a cohesive community bonded by a shared passion in astronomy.
So, introduce yourself and then your position in the CCA. That's it, 2 sentences.
I'm Darius, and I'm a member of the CCA.
Actually, in HCA Astro, we don't look for any prior experience or any prior knowledge before joining our CCA. We instead look for your passion and aptitude towards astronomy.
Okay, first let's start with fun. Obviously, I think that, yeah, everyone here is quite chill. No, not many people really like. It's not really hard to get along with everyone here.
So why join HCA Astro? It's fun and interesting, and you can get to meet new people as equally interested in astronomy as you are. Most importantly, we don't look for any prior knowledge in astronomy, as our theory ICs will bestow their knowledge upon you.
Hey, what's up? How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming.
That's so. Hello, my name is Li Xingyang, and I'm the academic teacher in charge of Hua Zhong's Astronomy CCA. So, as the title suggests, I am in charge of distributing knowledge, mostly in the area of astrophysics to the CCA. So, my main job is to teach different subjects that's encapsulated in astrophysics. So, in my lesson, I usually prepare 2 things. I prepare a set of slides and a set of notes. So the slides is shown when I'm teaching, and the notes is distributed to them during the lesson, so that they can look at the notes during lesson and after lesson. So the notes will highlight the most important parts of what I teach, and I'm also aware that some of them might be faster or slower than the others. So during lesson, I will give them a time to discuss among themselves, so that the faster ones can help the slower ones to catch up. And my slides is also tried to make to be more entertaining, so that it is not just pure rigor, and there's also some like jokes mixed in the slides, so that the mood of the lesson is much more, I guess, happy than if I'm just monotonically talking all the time. Yeah.
So one fun fact about our CCA is that in the previous batch there weren't many bio takers, but moving on to this batch and the next batch, there are a bit more bio takers. So this means that we have to like accommodate to a larger proportion of our students who may not have like any physics background, and physics is like quite important when it comes to learning about astronomy, like astrophysics.
He does try to break down the lessons for everyone to make it simpler so that even if you have like completely no knowledge on the topic at all, you can still understand it.
So I think that our academics ICs and practical ICs have done a great job in like breaking down content.
So you can pretty much eyeball it if you have enough experience, because this part will always be about the same weight, right? Then you can just... I'm Janelle. I'm the practical in charge of HC Astro. The content that I teach is practical astronomy, so typically anything that falls under that category. Things like star charts, star law mythology, as well as deep sky objects, and also coordinate systems and timekeeping. I try to use a mix of like media to present my content. So for example, for celestial coordinates, I used my senior Yihen's old slides and I added a few practice questions in it. So with these practice questions, I usually like call up 1 or 2 people to answer these questions, right? And that actually like motivates people to pay attention, because they don't know if they'll get error next. Yeah. And then also sometimes in my other slides, if it's a more chill kind of session, I do try to be a bit funny. Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Okay, for me at least, the reason why I am interested in all these is the fundamental idea that I'm curious about what's going on in the world. Like why does things work and stuff. That's one of my main motivations to why I even learn these things in the first place.
I think it's the intrinsic motivation of like I take a lot of pride in my work and I always want to do my best, but also the extrinsic motivation of, oh, if I show up for a CCA session and I have nothing to teach, then the whole club is doomed. Whoa.
I guess one of the key events in the CCA are the Astro Challenge and the Astronomy Olympiad.
We do have a few competitions here and there, right? Okay, SAO is one of the more serious ones. I don't blame you if you don't want to go for that. But Astro Challenge is literally the most relaxed thing ever. Right?
So I guess the teacher in charge is, first of all, it is in a more pragmatic, taking a more pragmatic view. It is really to prepare the CCA for these competitions.
But Astro Challenge it just really feels like it's more of a game than a competition. I went for Astro Challenge last year, right, with Jim Long, right, and yeah, sure, we might not have known much, but I think we both had fun. I don't think he would say he had fun if you asked him, but I'm sure he had fun because I was there, right?
But I guess in a sense, the teaching ICs also do a job in really disseminating knowledge about astronomy, and making the inspiring others to also learn astronomy as well.
Yeah, just show up for the competitions here and there, even if you have no intention to win everything, even if you don't think you're capable of winning everything. I think it's important to show that you're there, because at the end of the day, if a school doesn't send everyone in the CCA for the competition, can you really say that the CCA participated in it and not just some members?
In a sense, teaching IC is really it's the core of what keeps the passion of astronomy burning. Obviously, the other roles helps the CCA to run, but I guess the soul of the CCA lies in the fact that people are actually interested and passionate about the subject itself. Yeah.
Okay.
This is AstroTurf, where we conduct all stargazing sessions.
It's called AstroTurf, right?
AstroTurf, yeah.
But it looks like a football field.
They call it AstroTurf.
Trying to see things from the binoculars, but apparently the school lights are a little too bright for me to see things clearly.
Okay, so our stargazing sessions are held on every last Friday of the month. We'll bring our telescopes down to the AstroTurf and then we'll set them up. We'll practice like with the members setting them up, and then after that we'll practice stargazing. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Luke.
We do. Mama like.
Hi, I'm Luke, and I'm the Vice President of HC Astro.
Is it a coincidence that one of our telescopes has the same name as you?
I mean, I think right, I feel very honored, to have, our senior name one of this wonderful telescope here, the same name as me. And like, it really reminds me of how like passionate I am as my, what's it?
Bit less unbalanced. Can see? Yeah, it's still a bit unbalanced lah, but can't be helped, right? Right? Yeah. No. Okay, so obviously the main focus is like the stargazing lah. So I will have the members practice how to set up our club telescopes, and then after that we'll practice stargazing. So skills like ball sighting, star hopping.
I don't see the laser. Where is it?
Up until I tell you to stop. Okay, wait, too far up, down.
I hope that the CCA can gain a deeper understanding of practical astronomy. Not just the theory part, but also the practical part in terms of like handling of telescopes and other astro equipment.
What we do is the back IC sets up the telescopes. Some other members sets up the telescopes elsewhere. Right? Set up. Yeah, that's you guys. So I don't know. I don't know whether you guys want to. Yeah, they set up the other stuff. The people behind the camera set up telescopes elsewhere. But mainly, right, it's the back IC, Janelle. She sets up a telescope, and then for the J1s, she like teaches them all the different things about the telescope. Then we look at stars lah.
You don't see any pink stuff here.
Yeah, you try.
You might want to take a look.
Usually be like during those sessions.
I mean, okay, first of all, there are only a few telescopes, and there are much more interested people in looking at telescopes than me. So I'll give them the opportunity to look at the telescopes, and I'll just lie down and just rest, I suppose. Yeah.
Like the sessions itself, if it's not raining, I feel that it's quite good in the sense that our senior members have the freedom to do whatever they want. So even if, let's say, there's a lot of people crowding around the telescope, like we allow some other people to like just run around the AstroTurf so long they are like being safe and mindful.
But a lot of it is also just staying in the AstroTurf, having fun with your friends, like, because it's late at night, it's usually kind of cooling. So you can it's more of a time, I find it more of a time to relax and spend time with the people in the CCA.
I think it's the people around you in like the CCA that just makes stargazing special to me. Cause like these people, like, you're right or dice, man. You know them for 1.5 years.
Yeah. So it's not only an
It's like,
academic CCA.
yeah, it's a lot of sentimental value to stargazing. So
Ultimately, I believe that stargazing, right, should not only be a time where our CC members get to study, but also a time for them to get to relax after whole weeks of right now it's whole month of like busy schedule, and also to interact with my friends.
Like I remember one time during stargazing we had like a whole gossip circle next to the telescope, and it was like me, Jin and Mark, Gareth, Wenxi, I think. Then we were always like talking about random stuff. I think there was a conversation about crushes at one point in time.
The thing is, for these kind of sessions, where for stargazing, it's really passion driven. So you can't really enforce that everyone has to be like around the telescope. I mean, for those who are participating in like competitions, you should expect them to be.
Actually, I did not, like, before I looked through the scope, I didn't really realize we can actually see the colors with the
You can.
with that camera. Yeah.
Mm.
Can.
Nebulosity.
When
is
was
it?
the first time we got a photo of the nebula? M42?
I think it was during a ops training session.
Okay, wait, so it's 8/20/21. 22?
23, 22, then 16, 17, 18.
We were at JC's place for ops training because we wanted to stay like past 9, right? And we didn't want the security guards to kick us out. It's always been a struggle to find deep sky objects for me when I use a telescope. So being able to find a DSO like Orion Nebula, even though it's quite big, very easy to find, but it was still very validating for us to like be able to see it and like be able to photograph it. Yeah.
Just the focal length, please.
I think it's very humbling that there's like looking at the stars through the telescope. Like there's so much out there in the universe and we can only see like a little bit of it and we only understand even less, right? And I think that it's just like it makes you feel very insignificant in a way. Like you don't matter, so you don't need to take everything so seriously because like in the end it's just you're so small and your impact is so small, right? It's really like humbling in a way.
Wow! Oh.
That's too
Oops.
much.
Oops.
Oh my god.
You can see it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then like I think we were photographing all the different TSOs, and then eventually we went from Little Beehive to Orion Nebula, and then we started seeing nebulosity. And I think the whole ops team was quite excited lah. Yeah. Oh, but my happiest memory from this year was that when I was looking at like a bunch of stars, then suddenly I saw like a white streak or something, probably like a shooting star or a meteor or something, but it was moving like like it had a tail and everything. It was super cute. And then the second happiest memory for me was when I foresighted a plane for the first time. It was so exciting because the plane was like moving so fast across the sky and I just managed to get it through the telescope. And I was like, wow! I didn't think I could do this. Yeah, it was focused. You could see the little windows on the plane.
I mean, the magnification wasn't that. So the small
Wasn't that
focus.
good?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it was clear. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was clear.
Yes, it was.
But shortly after,
Clouds. Astronomer's curse.
As you can see, stargazing might be a bit hard with this kind of weather.
Okay, I have some personal issues with the stargazing sessions. Okay, let's be real. Since last year and a lot of batches above, our stargazing sessions have always been twice, like every Thursday evening, right? From 7:30 to 8:30.
I feel like for stargazing sessions, like especially this year, it's become more special because now it's like once a month. Unfortunately,
we have a very big issue of a lack of manpower on the teacher side because if you really want to stargaze, we need there to be a teacher like responsible of our safety and well-being.
But now, with just one teacher in charge, at least that's what I know of, and she has a lot of other commitments, she cannot afford to stay back every week. And I don't blame her. It's not really, if you have a lot of things to do.
And this makes it such that we can't have stargazing every week anymore.
Yeah. I can't really say it's anyone's fault on this.
If there's wet weather, like bad weathers, right, on the last Friday of every month, that means that for the whole month we are not going to be able to use the telescope at all. And I don't think this is like very good for a lot of the CCA members, especially since a lot of them join the CCA because they want to get one of the very rare experiences to get to handle the telescope. So in this sense, I don't think the stargazing sessions is quite good nowadays because of the new regulations.
The CCA is called Astronomy Club, by the way. Astronomy, right? We're not completely, obviously there's theory involved, but we're not supposed to be completely about theory with the occasional stargazing sessions here and there.
This really annoys me because I truly want this CCA to, progress further and maybe get our CCA members to be able to use these devices that we have in our CCA room more instead of the current users, they are using it less. But it's a choice between two super bad options. Ultimately, after discussing with Derek and I, the rest of the school, we came to the conclusion that maybe we should just let them be able to see the night sky a bit more.
Talking about Derek, he's the president of the CCA while you're the vice president. What do you think of him? How do you feel like working with him?
I feel that he's a very reliable and honest person.
Derek does try to engage with the members of the CCA, and he does try to, get to know them better, remember their names, all that kind of stuff.
Overall, I feel that it's very nice working with Derek, and I believe that I hope he thinks the same way for me.
I think one word to describe our vice president is fun, because he's very bubbly in the sense that he comes to the CCA every day with a lot of joy.
Luke, he's okay. He does his job.
I think our presidents and vice presidents, they are very fun people, especially the vice president. Yeah, they are very, very fun people to be around with. Bonding session. They lead the session, I suppose.
We will rock you. We will shock you.
As a president and vice president, it's important for us to ensure that one of us does not pick up the slack of the other and that our workload is distributed quite evenly.
As for HC Astro, Derek, which is the president, is in charge of managing all the liaising between the CCA members as well as the teachers. And as for me, I'm mainly in charge of communication between CCA members and people from other CCA. So in this sense, we have a very clear division on our different job scopes.
We ensure that our CCA is running well by planning various events for our CCA and for the school as well.
I remember at the start of the year there's a collaboration event with 2 other CCAs. Can you share more about that?
So for that collaboration, it was held between the art club as well as the girls' football. How it went about was actually pretty interesting. One day in class, me and my 2 other classmates who happened to be the president of the art club and also the vice captain of girls' football, we are thinking to ourselves, what if we make a very, very big collaboration between 3 CCAs? I guess it was a super fun experience because we got to work with people from many different CCAs, and at the same time we also got to make a lot of new friends through this collaboration.
For the Astro part, we are in charge of telling them to make a rocket, and so I guess the the art club was in charge of like decorating the rocket.
I was happy that when I went over after the rocket making had ended for the dinner, right, everyone was like very happy, and the rockets was actually pretty good when they are trying to launch it. So that was a very big plus for me. Yeah. We ordered pizza from Domino's, which was very cool and good. Although we might have over-ordered a little bit, but somehow there was like 1 or 2 slices that was extra, which was quite weird to me. But I think everyone had fun eating pizza while they were yapping to their friends.
No, I went there because Derek told me there was pizza. There was no pizza on the menu.
I had like 1 slice of pizza.
Everyone got the pizza.
Yeah, I didn't get any. I came very late.
There was like one though.
Cause he was there when the pizzas were given out. When I reached already, right, all the pizzas gone. Can't really.
I feel that the compliment part comes from the quality of our product and not the speed of how we do. You know, they say like it's quality over quantity, right? We can carry out a bunch of initiative, a bunch of collaboration, but personally, I don't think there's a point if there's nothing to be gained from our CCA member.
How did your expectations for the CCA differ from the reality that you have gone through for this 1 year?
To be honest, I expected the CCA to be a little bit more serious. I'm not complaining that it's not serious. I just think it can be, a bit more formal.
What's disappointing is seeing everyone not even make an effort to pay attention and listen to whoever's speaking on top, whether it's me or the other ACADS ICs.
I guess one of the greatest difficulty is try to make everyone engaged. Engagement is, I think, the greatest challenge that almost all teachers face.
So I came into the CCA thinking, oh, maybe this will just be some simple content. Maybe I can just learn on the way. But I don't know, something went wrong halfway through.
Some of the stuff that we are being taught is quite advanced, and it's definitely not something that we will be covering in our normal H2 physics lectures.
They may find the content too hard, or there's no entry point for them to get into such content, and the other being the fact that the content is not engaging enough for them to bother learning it.
I really think that it's interest driven. If no interest in the CCA, you have no reason to listen in any of the lessons at all.
I understand that people's attention spans don't go that far, so that's very understandable. And also the fact that I'm teaching a more rigorous part of astronomy is also the reason why that people might lose focus in the middle.
I would say that it's quite obvious that a lot of the members don't pay attention during CCA sessions. I've noticed that in both theory and prac sessions, I always see them on their devices gaming or talking to friends.
To be honest, I think I actually had somewhat of an interest when I first joined the CCA. But I really didn't know anything about physics, and it's very hard to understand and learn so many new things. Yeah, I don't think it's very easy to engage me anymore if I don't understand most of what's going on.
They are unable to really get a whole crowd of people to listen to what they're trying to say, and I feel that this oftentimes results in our CCA being very noisy as they are trying to teach the CCA members. So this also creates a lot of distractions for those people who are really trying to learn about what's going on in the CCA.
Most people are quite introverted, including me. So if you ask 2 introverted people to lead the rest, it's probably not going to work.
Okay, so I think as a president, right, like a vital part of my role is to make sure that everyone's involved in the CCA sessions. To say that there are no problems in the CCA would just be a blatant lie, because like as my job is basically to address the problems that like are rampant in our CCA. Our academics ICs and practical ICs have also tried their best in order to tailor their lessons to suit like the interests of our members.
That's why I try my best to make my materials as light-hearted as possible and not make the already a bit grim subject even more grim.
Okay, I will admit that my materials can be quite dry sometimes, but I've made some attempt to make it more interesting, like through Kahoot quizzes or on-the-spot practice questions.
I think challenges themselves will not discourage me from going further into teaching. It actually encourages me to hone my skills, and when it comes to interacting with my peers and students. So I think that's a great way for me to learn as well.
I can see that they have actually improved over the year with like whatever lesson they are creating, and especially now that the new Set 1 joined, I think there's a lot of people that are really pay attention to what they're saying, and this has helped them to like really know how to further improve themselves and their lessons. I don't think confusion is the main issue. If people are complaining about confusion, like it being confusing, I think the issue might actually lie in whether they are paying attention to lessons or not, and whether they dare to, be resourceful and ask senior or even ChatGPT for help. That's my take.
Okay, part of the reason is the materials, and also another part of the reason is that maybe Astro still has that reputation of being a so-called slacker CCA.
Members get away a bit too easily. Like, you see other sports CCAs, right? All the members have to show up for training and all. For all the performing arts CCA, they have to show up for all the recitals and stuff.
Members can apply for leave if they know that they will be missing CCA. But I think that's missing completely from our CCA. So this makes it so that like it's very hard to track who's coming and who's not.
We have to always chase people for their NCs or like parents letter when like they don't show up for CCA and they don't bother informing us.
We didn't realize that our attendance taking procedure just became like really lenient. So this just resulted in like a lot of like people skipping CCA, and then like without like any further notice like towards Luke and I as well.
We don't really want to have a culture where like people just join HC Astro to think that's a very slack CCA, but we want our juniors to bring this CCA to the next level and make it more bigger and like remove any like current stereotypes that we have on the CCA. As a matter of fact, we are actual CCA running, and it's quite unfair if we were to just like let you go off free while other team members are like being forced, in a sense, required to come to our session every week and attend it. So that's the most important thing about responsibility.
Just not turning up for CCA without like informing anyone, just like it kind of reflects badly on themselves as well, because like it doesn't really show any accountability or anything.
I think that at the end of the day, the EXCO members should be the ones in charge of fixing the matter in their CCA, right?
It's in the inherent role of like the Gen Sec to be looking out for attendance related matters. So I think that moving on like to the next EXCO, we should try and make the responsibilities of each role very clear.
But something needs to be done. The members do have to contribute a bit more.
A big part of CCA is not just the EXCO, because the EXCO is actually a minority of CCA. Majority of CCA is just like a regular old member.
I believe that even though we have this label on, it's just an added responsibility they have to do. It's not about how we get this prestigious position, but whereas in fact we're actually just the same as other CCA members, alright? We also attend CCA alongside every other member, and we're also learning and gaining a lot of different lessons. Like we are learning a lot more knowledge about the space and the universe around us during the CCA sessions.
Members also come with their own responsibility. They sign up for CCA, that means that they're interested in the CCA, that means they want to participate and be involved in the CCA.
So we joined the CCA because we had an interest in it, or at least we were perceived to have an interest in it, right? And I think that if we are truly interested in this CCA, right, we should be willing to give a bit more, put in a bit of effort.
Everyone should actually be putting the effort in to learn, right? That's why they are here in this club. It's to learn more about astronomy, right? Yeah.
People we can see in the CCA now, can those people make a change to these issues?
I mean, like, a short-term change is, I wouldn't say it's totally unfeasible, but like, I would say that it's not like, I don't think a short-term change is particularly on our minds when it comes to the goal of making our CCA members more engaged. I think that a more appropriate long-term goal is actually to make the next batch of members more engaged in our lessons.
Even though we can ask Li Xingyang, Fish, or even Janelle to give us create content for to teach you all more about the lesson, right? But ultimately, it's still the responsibility of yourself to know what you to get a good learning experience from this.
Like, my understanding of it is that it's where students with similar interests in astronomy or gather together and attempt to learn more about the subject and bond with each other in the process, and then they keep that passion for learning. And I'm not expecting it to be a super serious kind of academic thing, because it'll just be called astronomy subject and not astronomy club. But I do expect that our club members should know when to pay attention and when to goof off lah.
There doesn't have to be a fix for that. As long as you can get everyone to be actively engaged, I think it's fine. As long as everyone is having fun.
I think it's okay to just use this session to also bond with the CCA members. Because in the end of the day, CCA is not really just only about teaching and learning. It's also, as the term suggests, it's all about building interpersonal relationships and stuff. Yeah.
And I think it's part of the EXCO's job. All 7 of us, it's our job to get as many members as we can involved with CCA as possible. So that means inviting you all to the club room, hands-on activities, spotting DSOs. All of these are essential for our members as well, and it's not just reserved for EXCOs only.
It is through CCA that we actually get to learn more about the wonders and mystery of the universe. And so because of this, we don't require you to know anything beforehand. All you need is a passion.
What made the difference in my choice of joining a CCA, right, is the people around me. Because I could have been totally fine not having a CCA, right, because it's not compulsory. But I chose to actually make a move, right, and join Astro, even though I didn't have any prior knowledge regarding it, because I wanted to meet new people and maybe find a new interest.
I think the purpose of our CCA sessions is for everyone to get together and learn a topic that we are all interested about. Right?
We have no requisite for any academic subjects. For example, when I first stepped in, I barely knew any constellations in the night sky.
For me, what made Astro special throughout my 1.5 years is the people around me. I got to meet a lot of new friends, and it really it just makes me feel good.
I don't want to join a CCA if I'm not able to, relax and stuff and enjoy myself.
Very last question. Probably there's only one answer. I mean, you may have multiple answers.
That's the right answer.
If given a second chance, will it still be HC Astro?
Can I say no?
No, I hate HC Astro. HC Astro is the worst CCA. Don't join HC.
You are given a second chance to answer
Okay.
this question.
I'm joking.
No. Okay.
Yes.
I will join HC Astro again. I think no matter what, I've made memories here that I won't get elsewhere. And I've made friends here that I wouldn't normally have made.
Of course. Oh, look at that. Of course. Join now.
Very good job.
Of course, why wouldn't I? Like, I get to hang out. Stop laughing, man!
I think that's enough. I think that's enough.
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
Let me smoke, let me cook a bit.
Shh.
Bye-bye.
Already arranged everything, yes. Bye-bye.
Outro. Join Astro.
Thank you.谢谢大哥。
Still recording. Lol.
14 minutes.